TikTok video I showed earlier shows the 8th of October, the French police doing their job, stopping them, taking the boat away, no doubt putting a knife in it, so it can't be. 9th of October, the same mob are back on the beach, the same traffickers, and the boat comes across.
They're still operating.
To England. So is there any point giving the French police money?
No, I don't believe there is, Nigel. I think that the government has got this entirely wrong. The French are not going to help. And in fact, if the reports are correct in terms of Macron's comments to Liz Truss when she spoke to him, then he's actually using this as a bargaining chip. Well, that's simply not going to work. And Liz Truss needs to stand up very firmly against this being used as a bargaining chip against the Northern Ireland Protocol. It's simply unacceptable. The two things are entirely different. Well, but Macron is right on one thing, and that is when he said that this needs to be taken in the European context, because to be a little bit fair to the French for once, and I'm quite happy to bash the French, and the French need to be bashed over this, but on the other hand, it's not the French who are letting these people into the European Union and their area of free movement.
Across the Mediterranean.
Across the Mediterranean and through the eastern borders as well. Correct.
And then through Schengen they
so
can
this
move.
Does have a European context as well. But this piece that you've just shown just now as well, I mean, the sheer numbers are awesome. What we're talking about this year now is more than the equivalent of 2 infantry divisions from World War II. Now, I'm not saying these people are soldiers. However, as somebody who's worked in war zones for 10 years of my life, including with refugees, I can tell you that these people crossing the Channel are not refugees.
And yet government agencies say they're not doing anything illegal. I mean, I can't believe this stuff.
Well, I can't, but, you know, the fact of the matter is that most people in this country have been lucky enough never to have been exposed to conflict, never to have actually been in the field with refugees, and actually don't know any different. If somebody said, and it's the same for the Home Office immigration officials who are processing their asylum claims, they don't know any different either. And I know that from my time fighting organised crime in the Balkans, when I actually brought Balkan law enforcement officers to the UK who were stunned at the lack of knowledge that British immigration officers had. And the fact is that if somebody is able to pull the wool over our immigration system, and the civil servants who operate it, if they can pull the wool over their eyes, it doesn't mean to say that they are legitimate asylum claimants. It means that they are economic migrants who are simply exploiting the system.
We know, Henry, half of those that come are Albanians,
Correct,
boasting they're coming to join criminal gangs to earn cash.
Correct.
I mean,
there is no excuse now.
I mean, we know that's going on. Liz Truss has said precious little on this issue.
And that's worrying.
On legal immigration, she has said she wants to open the doors even wider, perhaps than Mr Blair did, than ever before. Suella Braverman, the new Home Secretary, Priti Patel promised big, delivered almost nothing. She has actually, it's reported, upset Number 10 by suggesting we should leave the ECHR. That would at least be a start, wouldn't it?
She's right. And there needs to be some serious conversations, again, with the UN on the Refugee Convention. Because, let's face it, that convention was written at a time when we were talking about a very different refugee dynamic in places like the Horn of Africa. It was designed for a different purpose to the one that the European continent is facing now.
It's 70 years.
Correct. It's an entirely inappropriate tool now for today's migration challenges. And the fact that we've all got organised crime operating the way that it does. It simply negates our sovereign rights to defend our own borders. And so this has to be a very robust conversation. That's why it's unacceptable, in my mind, for Liz Truss to accept any conversation with the French on doing a deal on anything.
Henry,
it's unacceptable.
It's not going to change, is it?
I don't think it is. And one of the reasons, Nigel, why I don't think it is because at the end of the day, I mean, I know Suella Braverman, she's got the right intent, she's got the right wish to do something, but she's not got the people around her with the experience and the skills and the knowledge and, in fact, the cultural attitude
to
deal with it.
It's courage.
It is. There's a lack of courage.